Hello, everybody. Very special interview today. You know this man very well, Gavin Michael Booth, filmmaker, producer, writer. He's got a new series out, Dreamcrusher, that's gotten rave reviews so far. It's a murder mystery. It's all about Gwen Thompson. She's on the verge of stardom, plays in her hometown. Concert, huge, dead the next day. Who murdered Gwen? Well, you have a chance to win $100,000 in real life actually trying to solve this case. So let's hear from the man who created the whole thing. He directed it. He wrote it. Gavin, how you doing today?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. Good to have you back in the studio.
Good to be here, always.
Oh, man. Let's take it right from the beginning. You shot in L.A., you shot in Worcester, you shot in Windsor, Essex County, Dreamcrusher. What was that like? Where'd you get the idea for Dreamcrusher? And why L.A., why Worcester, why Windsor?
Yeah, Windsor was just sort of like little pickups and some pieces to put together. The plan is to bring season 2 to Windsor entirely, but Los Angeles made sense. You know, the show is about, so Dreamcrusher is season 1 of a show called Reward, just so that people are clear on it. And the idea is that it's about a pop star named Gwen Thompson, and she has an album coming out called Dreamcrusher. That's where the title of the series comes from. But because she's a pop artist, we wanted to have real music written for the show. And I knew immediately I had to go to my friend Blue, which lives in LA, is from Boston area, but is spelled the French way, B-L-E-U. But he's a songwriter and a producer. He's worked with Demi Lovato, the Jonas Brothers, Meatloaf. Has his own music. He was on the original Spider-Man soundtrack, the Sam Raimi one with Tobey Maguire. Just writes these awesome pop songs. And I thought this will be great because that way I can film our actress, Brittany Charlotte Smith, who's playing Gwen in the recording studio. This show has sort of like a mixed media format where it's a traditional narrative show, but the contest aspect of it and trying to find all the clues, some of it is out there in the world or on social media or on websites. So having like behind the scenes footage of her in the studio became like very important to us to have. And it was just the perfect storm. I wrote it that she lives in LA now, but had come from like the Worcester area in Massachusetts. So it just made perfect sense. And then Worcester, the streaming service revealed that the show is on is based out of Worcester, was sort of born in the area there. And, you know, the owners and executive producers, particularly William Chevry, he and his friend Joseph Avino were the ones who came up with the core idea of like the reward concept, like the idea of just a show where people could win money. So when they hired me to sort of write it and develop it into a fleshed out story of 7 episodes, said, well, I'd love to like just shoot it here. Like it's like wanting to watch your baby grow up a little bit, right?
Exactly.
And then Worcester, their film commission was amazing with us and helped us find all the locations we needed, just like open arms. They host giant shows like Walking Dead, Dead City, and the movie The Holdovers with Paul Giamatti. But even for a little indie project like us, we're willing to like roll out the red carpet because they just want to see more film made there. So like, you know, it was amazing.
Yeah. When did you first get contacted about this idea?
This has been in development since either the middle of 2020 or early 2021. And I had written a completely different story entirely for it. Maybe it becomes a future season. But things with the streaming service were changing, and it just sort of like a lot of projects that people don't see the behind the scenes is like for a million different reasons can get put on pause or stopped and started. And I thought it had kind of gone away, and I know a couple different rounds of writers had written on it, but it came back around in 2024. And we were off to the races and ready to produce. So.
Yeah, you were filming out in Massachusetts there for a bit.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
We had a really good time there. They have a concert venue there called the Palladium that let us in. We needed a green room, and like, you know, in the story, this character Gwen gets murdered. The night before her big album's coming out, but she's doing a hometown concert show. So we wanted to sort of show all the chaos of backstage and set up who some of the suspects are by meeting them in her green room and the people that are always trying to get backstage when maybe they shouldn't be there. Yeah.
Just excited fans, some of them crazy. You never know what it's like, right? Where'd you draw inspiration for Gwen from? What did you look at? Selena? Did you look at other famous people that have been murdered? John Lennon?
Not at all. I mean, obviously that I'm aware of those cases. They're in the back of my head, but there's no similarities to kind of their cases. I used to work, and I still do occasionally, like touring with bands and shooting tour videos. And so I've kind of lived out on the road. I've shot some documentaries about bands making like their album in the studio. Always loved music, done a ton of music videos. So I've been around the music industry forever. And I think the only thing slightly more corrupt than the film industry is the music industry, which is hard to say. But I just, I've had enough friends in bands that have had like record deals go south or bad management or crazy fan encounters or the band breaks up and then it's vicious about who owns what and did you steal this song from me and on and on. I was just like, I think this is a good like place to put everything. And I can strum a guitar around a campfire and mildly entertain myself. And I played drums for a while, but I love music, but I don't have the aspirations to go out and record music. So it's sort of the more projects I keep writing, films about music or films about musicians, I just have I get to live out my rock star dream a little bit.
So this is like really cool for you. It's your envision of when you were kind of growing up, maybe wanting to be a rock star, although it's with Gwen, it's a little different. Yeah. Kind of inspirations and dreams from your childhood.
She's got real guitars and drums and stuff on her tracks, definitely. And I do love pop music, like unabashedly, like. I am on record as a Swiftie. Like her 1989 album is one of the best produced, albums of all time. It's so catchy. Chapel Rowan, like watching Chapel's like rise in the last year. Like there's some of these pop stars in modern days are complete badasses and writing really, really interesting music.
Yeah. Why pop music? Why the character Gwen? Why a pop star?
It just seems to be the least likely that you would expect to be murdered. If somebody like a heavy metal band or something a little more rock and roll or dirty and grungy was murdered, you might be like, there was some drug problems and things there. But pop is generally feels a little cleaner and more sanitized. And but I mean, honestly, pop music. Mostly because of Blue and being able to convince Blue to do the project and knowing that we would have a great song to put out there. But it was also easier to focus around, this is season 1. We're trying to do it on a bit of a contained budget. So being able to focus on one character versus needing an entire band as well was a consideration.
Yeah. And as Gavin mentioned, it's on Reveal. That's where it was first available, but also available through iOS devices, Android devices, Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. If you want to have a chance to win $100,000, go to www.rewardseries.tv. Sign up to be an investigator. Gavin and I are going to take a little break. When we come back, talking all about Gwen and her character development, even though she gets murdered right away, and learning a little more about her backstory and filming as well here at CKBG. There's a little Easter egg in that series, so don't go anywhere. How cool is that? That's actually Gwen right there. I beat you to it from Dreamcrusher. Gavin, this show has gotten rave reviews so far. How proud of you are you of that? Because this show is literally, as you mentioned earlier, your baby, and this is kind of a different venture for you in a way.
Yeah, I've not directed television yet. I've done some documentary work and docu-series, but breaking into directing narrative television is a real challenge.
Yeah.
So I have it on my resume now. So it's been great. It's fun to just tell I've always liked interactive storytelling. I used to love choose your own adventure books when I was growing up, and anything that's like a new way to engage media, I've always been a huge fan of. Even as simple as, Marvel having TV shows and movies and the sort of cross connection between things I always find fascinating. So getting to build this and all of the elements, like we shot the episode that just came out on Tuesday, episode 3 is called Picture Perfect, and it's about the making of Gwen's music video. So we're like on set with her as the character, but we're also practically shooting the music video at the same time. And then there's even a behind the scenes of the music video, but it's not the behind the scenes of like me and my crew making the music video. It's the behind the scenes of the characters in the show making the music video. So there's just like, it's like 3 layers of inception to make this show. So it's just a lot to manage and keep in my head, but it's interesting to see it unfold because of the social media aspect, and there's a few Facebook groups and pages where people are sharing clues and discussing what happened in every episode. I actually get to see the response, and I've been able to interact with a few of the people that are playing just through comments and things. But it's really interesting.
That must be so cool. That probably makes the people's day.
We had to ask people to stop asking the actors for information because they were like looking them up on IMDb and then finding their social media and like badgering them for hints. And I'm like, you can't, that's not part of the show. That's not part of the challenge.
Has that happened to you at all?
Every other person I know in my life has been like, tell me who did it and we'll split the prize money. And I'm like, I don't know
Doesn't
if you ever
work
saw
like
it.
that.
There's a docu-series called McMillions about the people who scam the McDonald's Monopoly contest. I just keep saying, I don't want my next project to be starring in a documentary about, defrauding the reward viewership. Yeah.
Yeah. Got to talk about Brittany Charlotte Smith. It's not the first time you worked with her. How pleased are you with her performance? Did she make Gwen her own or what?
100%. Brittany is a brilliant actor, a brilliant improvised actor, and she does a lot of improv in LA right now with UBC, which is like sort of the feeding ground where a lot of Saturday Night Live cast comes from. And she can sing. And
great singer.
I've had the chance to work with Brittany on 2 previous short films. The first one was called Artifice. It was a sci-fi film that she co-wrote with some of her fellow acting friends in Toronto, and they hired me to direct and loved working with her there. And then she wrote a comedy called Profiles of Remarkable Neophytes that is like a office-style mockumentary on the set of an adult film set, essentially, like showing the behind the scenes of the daily work of it's a very PG movie about a very R-rated topic. And she acted in that one as well. And then when I was writing Dreamcrusher, I've said this to her, I haven't really said it publicly, but I only went ahead with writing this plot line of Dreamcrusher about a pop star if she said yes to doing it before even being able to read the script, which is usually a hard ask of actors. But I just knew that she had everything to do it. I knew that this project was going to be challenge shooting, and a challenge shooting in LA and in Worcester, and the singing aspect and all of the things that have to be done, all the bonus photos and video clips and things. It's a lot different than just a traditional role. And I wanted somebody that was great with improv, because some of it is like all the narrative stuff is scripted, but some of the stuff is just like, okay, let's just, what would be happening if you're on your photo shoot right now? Like, what would you say to your fans for a Instagram video or something? And I just knew that Brittany was the person to do it. And if she was going to say no, I probably would have written a different script, a different story for Dreamcrusher.
Interesting. So she literally got the ball rolling for you.
Yeah, the minute she said yes, and has been an awesome collaborator, because coming up with Gwen's outfits and really what pop stars to kind of study and model after, and how we're going to do these things. Like she's an awesome collaborator because she's producing her own work and writing her own work as well. So it's the best sort of actor collaboration you can have. Somebody who's just willing to throw all the ideas that they have towards it and try to make the character and the entire project better.
Very nice. I got to bring this up. You shot a scene here in the studio at CKBG.
We have some voice. We have your own the doc. Doc Morris. Doc Morris has a little voice acting cameo in the film, and everyone should check that out. I know he's right off the top of episode 1, and I know you hear him again off the top of episode 2, I believe. And is he coming back for more? Maybe. Can't give spoilers.
Can't give spoilers. That's one thing about this. You cannot give any spoilers.
It's really difficult to do interviews sometimes when people are asking things. I'm like, I can't say anything.
What about people watching this show? Are they going to recognize some Windsor spots that you filmed in?
I doubt it, because again, that was just like some little pickup things and inserts that aren't like the main premise at all. It didn't really involve the main cast. It's just little things that I thought would be fun, or just little inserts of exteriors of places. They might recognize it if they knew it well, but I highly doubt it. But if you've ever been to Worcester, Massachusetts or Los Angeles, you might see the Hollywood sign coming up. That's not really a spoiler. I can say that. Yeah.
So how long in total with filming did it take to wrap up this project for season 1?
It's, the writing was a couple months to outline and get scripts that we were happy with. Production, really, it was about 5 weeks, maybe total days of shooting, but kind of broken up a little bit. Like the LA unit was one thing, and then the Worcester unit was one thing, and then the little pickups. But yeah, it's about 5 weeks maybe. Yeah, so pretty short. The episodes are 18-ish minutes, so it's not 1 hour episodes. If it was, we would have been there for months doing everything.
Even a half hour, that's long. 18 minutes, that's still pretty long though.
It's kind of fitting in like when you used to watch a sitcom, it was 22 minutes and then there'd be 8 minutes of ads. Like we do have commercials. Reveal is free for people to sign up. They don't have to pay. It's like Tubi. You just have to watch a few ads in every program. But it's free to sign up and have an account and watch all of the content on Reveal, as well as Dreamcrusher. And so, yeah, there's room for the commercial breaks. And each episode also starts with we have our host, Lindsay Ivan, who's a TikToker for telling spooky stories and strange tales. But she sort of guides the audience through, make sure you're signed up here. This is how to look for clues, because there is this extra element, this engaged element that people need to be educated about. So we just wanted to make sure we weren't like a half hour, 45-minute show and then all of this other content. You know, it's just season one's about just easing into the idea and getting our feet wet with what works and what doesn't.
And there are 7 episodes in season 1.
Correct. Yeah. Maybe more?
Maybe more. Ooh.
Oh, did I just give a spoiler? Oops.
That's all right. Very cool. Well, Gavin and I are going to take another break here. When we come back, we're going to talk about, without spoilers, what's ahead on Dreamcrusher.
Yeah.
Hello again, everybody. Back here with Gavin Michael Booth, the director, the creator, the writer of Dreamcrusher, his masterpiece. It's such a cool series. It's such a unique concept. You don't hear of things like this where they're giving away money, the streaming platform that this show is on, $100,000. Unbelievable. That's a lot of money. And you get to be your own detective. You got to love series like that where they want to engage you, right? The creators of the show, but then also the bonus of winning a lot of money, $100,000. That's a lot of money in any day and age. It's so cool. It's such a great idea. Gavin, thank you so much again for joining us today in the studio. Without any spoilers, what can people look forward to at the remaining 4 episodes of Dreamcrusher, and then potentially more, as you said, or season 2?
Well, the goal of season 2 is to shoot it entirely in Windsor.
Oh.
And if you know me and know my history, you might be able to figure out what we're going to do. That's your first detective clue for season 2. Season 1, what's coming up? I'll say this. If you were ever a fan of VH1, especially in like the 90s and early 2000s, you're gonna love something that's coming up. We're going to get back to our detectives and sort of the hardcore police investigation. And a couple episodes coming up too. I don't think one of my goals was to also just use this mixed media and kind of flip the style that some of the episodes are told in. So there's going to be a lot of things I don't think people will expect is the way that the story is going to be told. I guess I can say that.
Curveballs are always good.
I'm a big fan of it. Watching Severance season 2. Episode 7 just does something very different than the rest of the series, but it was so refreshing. Like, honestly, I hold it up as like one of the best episodes of television ever made. Or I love a good flashback episode where, you've been living with these characters for 7 or 8 episodes in season 1, and then they go back and show you like, oh, this is what led to them even starting this thing that I'm watching them on. It can be a lot of fun.
Dreamcrusher, it's literally that. You're piecing together, right? It's back and forth.
A little bit, yeah. Most of it so far has been traditional narrative. Episode 1 deals with entirely, almost in real time, of like her backstage prepping up to the minute she steps on stage for the concert. Episode 2 is the police at the crime scene, or at the body discovery scene, and I guess they're one and the same. And then the sort of first round of bringing people in and questioning people that were backstage, just trying to get a sense of what happened. Episode 3, where you think it's going to go forward, flashes back a month earlier, a couple weeks earlier, to where she's on the set of her music video. And then what we're going to do moving forward is going to start to fill in more gaps and give a lot more specifics to motive for some of the suspects, and really start to, I think if anyone's got a solid theory right now that I've read, just know that I'm laughing at you, because you're going to get some twists coming up.
I was just going to say, I think I have somewhat of a little theory, but I'm not going to share it, obviously, over the airwaves. I want to keep everything relatively secret. But
I wouldn't tell you if you were right if you wanted to share it. Yeah.
Exactly, you can't. But this is such a great idea. I love this series. I love the whole idea behind it. Looking forward to, season 2, but that's so far away. Have you started to really sit down and analyze things, or are you just taking it day by day with, the success of season 1?
No, I've got the plan is to go very soon. So I've got early drafts of the episodes. I've been outlining it sort of at the same, from the minute we stopped shooting season 1, I've been editing season 1. I'm also concurrently every day taking a little bit of time and just prepping and planning for season 2 so that we can kind of hit the ground running sooner.
Oh, very nice. Gavin, is there anything else you would like to add?
No, just, if you're just tuning in now, this is Dreamcrusher, season 1 of Reward. It's a television series where you can win $100,000 by solving our interactive murder mystery. Mm-hmm. Episode 3 just aired. You can sign up now. You didn't have to sign up to play detective before the series started. You can sign up right to the end before kind of the finale airs. And you go to rewardseries.com or .net, sorry.
.tv.
.tv.
Yeah,
Too
www.rewardseries.tv.
many dots.
Exactly.
Rewardseries.tv. That's where you sign up to play investigator. And then the platform is reveal.net. And that is free for anybody, similar to Tubi. It's a new streaming service. There's lots of other content to watch on there, but Dreamcrusher is the first original narrative series on there. And why would you watch reruns of The Office when you can win $100,000 watching our show?
Exactly. You'd think that's a $100,000 question right there.
I've been joking. I would watch paint dry for 7 episodes if there was a chance to win $100,000. So why not come along on an interesting murder mystery?
Exactly. Gavin, this has been phenomenal. Thank you so much. It's great to talk to you again, and I'm looking forward to you interviewing me in just a little bit.
That's true. We're gonna flip the script here and turn the cameras and the mics on you because we have to get your interview for our Amherstburg's new wave documentary, the docu-series about this radio station right here.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to it. Dreamcrusher, Gavin Michael Booth, the director, the writer, the mastermind behind it. Thank you.
Thank you always. I love it here. I love coming out here and talking to you.